Hello, very warm welcome to everyone to today's Onepoint Oneness meditation session. For those of you who are new here, my name is Matthew, and we started these sessions, this is the 60th, so over a year ago now. And the idea came because many of us at Onepoint have a regular daily meditation practice that we find really beneficial. And the idea came that it would be really good to share insights into meditation and positive thinking and that whole area with a wider audience. And so Onepoint Oneness was born. We've been very fortunate over the last year or so to have some really excellent speakers, really experienced meditation practitioners, and today's no exception. And I'd like to welcome Guillermo Simo, who's joining us from Spain. Welcome, Guillermo. I know commonly people call you Bill, so we'll also do that, but a warm welcome to you. And just a little bit of background. So Bill has been exploring meditation and self-development skills for over 30 years. He's a teacher and lecturer on spiritual topics, and since 2009, has been part of the national coordinating team for promoting and teaching Raj Yoga meditation in Spain. Professionally, Bill is an executive coach, facilitator, and trainer in personal and leadership development. He's worked for many major companies such as Nestlé, Mango, Volvo and La Caixa. His purpose is to inspire people to strengthen and develop their potential, releasing their inner resources. A very nice purpose to have. And Bill, today you're going to be speaking to us on the topic of the path to inner freedom. So looking forward to that. I'll hand over to you.
Good morning, and thanks very much, Matthew, for the invitation to share. So yes, inner freedom is essential in our lives. Normally, when we think about freedom in a general sense, many people think in relation to kind of external freedom. For instance, the freedom to buy and have whatever you would like to have. It means to have better finances, more money, or the freedom of speech, to be able to express what I feel, what I think, without having any problem because of that, or the freedom to rule our country. Sometimes there is an area of a country that wants to be independent and free from the central government. So there are many aspects of freedom at an external level. But today, our meditation is about the path towards inner freedom, which means, I think it's a concept very much deeper, and it's something that applies to each and every aspect of our lives, because it's the feeling, the experience of being free inside. For instance, we may have a responsibility, we may have a job, but we can feel sometimes and experience that our work is like a bondage. I would like to be free and to do another thing, but it is simply not possible because I need to earn that money. I need the job just to continue to pay my basic expenses. And what I have discovered in my own practice and in my own personal development is that, in fact, even though it would be nice to maybe be free from that work, or to have a job that you really enjoy, or it is connected with the things that you are more passionate about, whatever. But sometimes that's not possible, for instance. Yet I have discovered through my own research and practice that what is important is to understand is that this feeling and experience of being like in a bondage, this kind of lack of well-being in our mind, in our experience, is something we can transform. And in fact, we can be free from that when we change our consciousness, when we change our perspective, when we change how do we see things. And we can learn to take our mind and take our inner stage, let's say, to a different level, where I learn and I achieve somehow to be in the same place, to be in the same situation, and being free from the spirit, from the being free from the sensation or the experience of bondage, of being trapped in that situation, or being free from boredom, or being free from all so many unnecessary desires of the mind, expectations. Because as we go deeper inside ourselves, we will begin to understand and to realize that these mental traps, these traps that we create in our consciousness, are the real cause of our experience of a lack of freedom. So once we begin to taste a more peaceful state of mind, a state of mind that is full of harmony and well-being, and we can achieve that. And this is why we are here today, to meditate together, because meditation is a wonderful tool to reach that level of consciousness. And so you realize that, and this is very important, inner freedom is unlimited. It's not limited by the situation. It's not limited by what happens outside. It's not limited by anything, even if the body is ill, even if you have an important illness, you can still be free in your mind, in your consciousness. So it's so important what we are talking about, because the quality of our life is going to change dramatically if we practice meditation, if we practice a higher consciousness, and if we internally create that stage of freedom in which we feel that we are content, that we are fine, we are at peace, we are in harmony. That's what we really need. And then, of course, if we need to solve things, if we need to change things, that doesn't mean that you just accept everything and become passive. But my freedom will not be my feeling or my experience of freedom will not be dependent on those external things. I can already, right now, feel myself internally free. So I think this is a very, very important aspect for all of us. But better than keep talking about it and keep reflecting about it, we could expand this topic a lot. But there is no need in this program, because our main aim is to experience this. So let's go for the meditation. Let's begin to meditate. So I invite all of you to, first of all, to adjust the posture of the body, which is important to, find a posture with balance, in a sense that one important aspect of meditation is that the body should be in such position, and always it's recommended the back should be straight, but we should find such posture that we can really forget the body during meditation. We can focus completely on our inner experience. So it's also important to begin with to allow the muscles of the body to relax a bit more, let go of any tension that you don't need, whether in the feet, legs, the hands or the arms, shoulders. Maybe you want to move a little bit your neck, so that these typical tensions of the neck relax a bit more. Even the muscles of the face, you can let go of any unnecessary tension. And to begin with, we can just observe for a few moments. Observe our breathing. Just to allow, you can allow your breathing to find its own rhythm, natural rhythm. You don't need to force your breathing. Just allow it to find the natural rhythm that it needs. And slowly, you can notice that your body finds a stage of balance. And whilst doing this, your attention, in a natural way, has become aware of the present. So you are now aware of this present moment, what we call the here and the now. Here and now. It is in the present where meditation happens. And you can notice also that you are aware internally, observing the present. And this is something you can keep for the whole exercise of meditation, to be aware that your attention stays in the present. And if you notice that different thoughts emerge in your mind that remind you things of the past or things of the future, whatever it is, I invite you in this meditation to manage those distractions that are like an interference in your meditation, and just watch those thoughts. You don't need to fight with them. Just watch those thoughts. As they appear, you watch them, become aware of them, and you let them pass away. You let them go. You don't hold them, because this is something we can do in our consciousness, inside of ourselves. Whichever thought appears in our mind, either we can let it go, or we can give it attention, focus, and life. So now I invite you to just give attention to the thoughts and ideas of this meditation. And as you do that, you're still aware of the present, here and now. And you are aware also that you are observing from inside. In fact, you can notice that you are the observer, the inner observer. Just become aware of that. Internally, you are aware of every aspect of the present. Maybe you're aware of some physical aspects, sensations in the body, maybe the temperature of the room, maybe some sounds that are reaching your ears, or any other physical information for the senses. But also in the present, here and now. You can be aware of the inner activity of yourself, the activity of your thoughts. Your feelings. How do you feel right now? What is your experience? And so I invite you to become simply aware of everything that happens inside of yourself, in your, what we can call your inner space. And this inner space is the space where your experiences are generated. Many times, your experience is generated unconsciously, without you being aware. But the good news is that in meditation, you can learn and you can practice how to generate new and positive experiences. And one very important, essential aspect is to realize that when you connect with the inner observer, you will notice that the inner observer is observing from a space, from a feeling of peace, of calmness, even of silence. The inner observer can be detached of whatever is observing, whether it is an external situation or scene, or whether it is your own thoughts of your mind, the feelings. In fact, you are the inner observer, and you can detach yourself and observe. How do you feel? What are your thoughts? And so you can practice to let go of each and every thought that creates disharmony or destroys your well-being. Especially those thoughts that are connected with desires and expectations. When you stabilize yourself in this stage of harmonious peace, you can experience that right now, here and now, you don't need anything. You don't need those thoughts of desires. In fact, you don't need those desires. Because right now, here and now, you can experience a stage of inner balance, inner contentment, freedom from any desire or expectation or wants or needs. You can open yourself now to realize and to experience this. This is inner freedom, where you are enjoying, really enjoying the here and now, without needing anything else. And this enjoyment, this peace, this inner well-being you can clearly realize that it doesn't depend on anything external, on any object, any person, any situation, because it's your inner treasure. In fact, it's your spiritual right to be at peace, to be content, to be in harmony with yourself. Just take a few seconds, few moments to taste the sweetness of this wonderful stage of consciousness, of mind. Stage of peace, stage of well-being, stage of silence. And important to know also that you can come back to this place, to this experience, to this stage, whenever you want. You just have to create the time. Go inside and remind yourself that you're a spiritual being whose nature is of peace, contentment, harmony, silence. And keeping this experience, keeping this awareness, you can now slowly, at your own pace, come back from this exercise. Maybe you can move a little bit your feet to feel the movement activating the body. The legs, maybe you can stretch a little bit fingers of the hands. Notice your arms, your shoulders, the back. Maybe you can move a little bit neck. Take a deep breath and come back. And just as an invitation, you can find time during the day to go to this experience, and you don't need a long stretch of time. You can practice this for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, different moments of the day. And this practice has helped me personally so much to change the dynamics of your experience, of your mind. Even if you are in a busy job or any situation, just 2-3 minutes of connecting again with this stage of really inner freedom. It's about inner mastery. I can create the experience that I want, that I like, that I enjoy. I have this capacity. So that was my suggestion.
Great, Bill. Thank you so much for that wonderful session. And I'm sure these times, especially that we've just been through, where a lot of external freedoms have been removed, that it's a very important topic you've covered. And just wondering, obviously you've been practicing meditation for a good amount of time, and for people that are sort of early on in the journey or new to it, excuse me, too much talking this week. Sometimes it can be tricky to concentrate the mind away from all the bondages and all the things we have to face in our lives. Do you have any insights from your own practice about, is it just a matter of being patient and practicing regularly to get past those feelings and thoughts that pull us away from that sense of peace and inner freedom? Or what are your thoughts about that?
Yes, Matthew, I think that's essential, what you're saying. Patience and practice. And together with that, maybe to change a little bit our understanding and our perspective on meditation, because I noticed that some people think that only when you have the perfect meditation and the perfect peace and the perfect concentration, you know how to meditate and you are a meditator. And that's wrong. That's completely false. It is a wrong perspective on meditation. Precisely, we want to meditate to generate, to create that stage of inner order, no? Our mind more in a more harmonious stage or whatever. But in the process is to understand that whichever thoughts appear and noise comes to my mind and things that are pulling me outside, this is part of the practice of the meditation, and you are doing nothing wrong. And it's not that you are not a good meditator. That's completely normal. And I think if we take this approach, it will be much easier, and in fact you will go deeper and you will get better experiences. But sometimes, of course, it's connected with what you said. You need a little bit of patience, because sometimes what you need is to stay there, to be, as in the practice of today, to be detached of your thoughts, to be detached of. What I mean by detached is this experience of being the observer. You just observe, and there's nothing wrong in that you are observing now a lot of chaos in your mind, and you are observing many things that are coming spontaneously to your mind of whatever happened during the day. That's normal. But maybe you add something to this. You add a negative thought that I'm not meditating properly. This is the thought that many people have is, this is very difficult. This is very difficult. I can't concentrate. And so these thoughts are really an obstacle for you. These thoughts are not encouraging you to, as you were saying, to keep a little bit of patience, stay there. And it's almost by magic. Sometimes these clouds of wasteful thoughts, suddenly they begin to disappear or slow down, and you begin to enjoy a very nice stage. But you have to stay there a little bit. It's like sports, no? You need to practice, and sometimes to train is a little bit tired, but then you get the results. And here I think it is the same. With a positive attitude, why not? Why shouldn't I learn to meditate? Why can't I experience that stage? Huh? To have a positive approach and to have trust in yourself and keep going.
Great. It's really wonderful and very reassuring advice, I'm sure. And then makes total sense, my experience on my own journey. So thank you for sharing those insights and for joining us today. It's been really wonderful. Thank you, Bill.
It was my pleasure. Thanks very much for the invitation.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And thanks to everybody who's joined us watching today. You'll see that there's the usual links in the YouTube chat, so you can give us feedback, and also you can connect to the Onepoint Oneness webpage, where you can watch recordings of past sessions and also find out about the upcoming ones. And as I always say, please do share this resource with your friends, colleagues, and family. We have, 60 recordings, some really, really wonderful sessions, including today's recording, which will be there later. And there's such valuable insights to help you on your journey to inner peace, your journey to meditation practice. So looking forward to seeing everybody next week. Next week, we're going to be joined from Anna, who's based in Lebanon. And interesting topic next week, Plato's allegory of the cave and its connection with meditation. So a bit of philosophy.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's a mouthful, that one. So that'll be an interesting
Matthew, one question. How can we know
sure.
that, how can we receive this information
of
the programs?
You can, yeah, that's a good question. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel. So everybody watching today is watching via YouTube. So there's a subscription on there. So that's the best way. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So wishing everybody a wonderful weekend, and see you all again next Friday.